Hey, my name's Eric. I'm making a game. I'm a little tired because for some reason I woke up about an hour early. And it's that perfect time where I can't really quite go back to bed. And I woke up and I was thinking about working on my game. And I just got up and then got my coffee, and now I'm here. And now I want to work on my game. That's the thing I like. That's the thing I like to do so much that it wakes me up too early in the morning. Then it's ironic because I'm going to do a crappier job of working on my game today because I was so excited to work on it. But let's see if I can push on through it. Demo. I like to demo before I get working because there's a bunch of people that will just want to see what I've recently done. Not a bunch. There's like 5 maybe, There's like 5 people. I can't let them down. And they don't really want to watch the whole work session. So I put the demo at the front always. And if you just want to catch up a little on what I've been up to, just watch the start of, if you're with me on Twitch, then it's live. But if you're looking at the archive on YouTube or the archive on Twitch, then watch the start of it, and then decide if you want to take off after that. All right. Let me see. Which one should I go to demonstrate this? Also, and why does Unity have to... I don't even know where my level is, because Unity has to place me out in the midst of a void instead of remembering my position in the scene from the last time I opened the file or even just used it last night. I didn't leave this out here in a weirdo space. This will work to demo the thing I want to demo. Tired. I'm gonna do some zombie work today on this. I'm like a zombie, getting excited about brains. Okay, so the thing I did yesterday, I think I did a few other things too, but this is the main thing. When you fling, takes you to the top of the stairs, then back down. What it used to do is what I call the Evel Knievel approach, where you fling up the stairs, but then you keep going, following the angle of the stairs. And that seemed exciting, but it was just kind of bad for gameplay. So then I had this other design dilemma, which was, do I use the fling to be able to go up things that aren't stairs, at least not visually, but they have the same angle as stairs. So I call these things that have the same angles as stairs logical stairs, and the stairs that actually look like stairs on the screen, I call them cosmetic stairs. And I did it the logical way, the logical stairway. So I say like this block to my west is like a stair that's 1 high, basically. So if I fling, puts me up on top of the block, and I can fling back down. If I just move on to it, because it's a block, it'll get pushed. So now there's like 2 ways to get on top of these things. 2 ways to interact with them. One lets you climb on top, the other pushes. So here's the trouble, though. It's hard to figure it out. In fact, I think I might have to go to one other level to show it properly. So if you're watching this and it doesn't quite make sense to you, for one thing, you haven't seen my work screen because I haven't been broadcasting it. Hold on, I'm gonna fix that. Don't worry. I know you're worried, but just don't be so worried. All right. So I'm gonna redo that demo with actually showing you what I'm talking about instead of a screen that was just sort of stuck. So let's try that again. And this time I'll go to a level that kind of properly shows the confusion. I can kind of make sense of it because I've been writing all the code and I've got all the stuff in my head about it. But that's the thing. I don't want to trick myself into making something that makes sense to me and an elite group of power players. It needs to be intuitive and accessible. So, all right. So this is a room just full of blocks. Okay. And I'll explain this a second time. There's things in the game that look like stairs in our stairs. I call those cosmetic stairs. And there's things that they don't look like a staircase, but they follow the same angle as stairs. So if you're flinging, currently I'm allowing you to fling up these stairs. So right here you can see three blocks. Trim the volume down just a tiny bit. Got people sleeping downstairs. And you can see the first one here is 1 high, then 2 high, then 3 high. So you can fling to the top of that with the new logic. I don't think it's real obvious though. And also, you can manipulate blocks to try to create these staircases, and I started playing with it a little bit. All right, so I thought, well, let's see how high of a staircase I can make to climb up to. And it's it can be done with a lot of blocks. You can kind of push them around and let's see. I think maybe I can get up to 4 over here. See, there I've got okay, hold on. Okay, so if you I'm having a little bit of trouble parsing it myself, just all the different rules about the blocks, and I wrote them, but basically there's some rules that say when you destroy a block, it will be reborn at the nearest block pad, this circular thing that has the same letter on that block. And there's rules about pushing. You can push blocks. They always push all the way forward. There's rules about how they fall down if something underneath drops. So there's already a fair amount of stuff there with them. Also, they open and close letter gates and letter bridges, if whether or not they spell a word that's on that bridge or gate. So in front of here, there's one that says no, N-O, and it remains closed until you break up all the blocks that have the formation that spells N-O. Like here's one right here. Okay. So I guess what I'm getting at is, like, this is like such a, it's already an element that takes a long time to figure out. To add to it that you can climb up and down it and arrange it into formations that allow you to climb. I don't know if that's taking it in the right direction. I think that's making it a little more complex than it should be. And the player's already going to be struggling a bit to figure out all the things about blocks throughout this game. There's a number of puzzles where the space they have to explore a potential solution gets enlarged in a way that will distract them from the actual intended solution if they can also be pushing blocks around and stepping up and down on them. So it just doesn't seem like a good behavior to have. So let me show the good thing, because I'm like talking a lot about what isn't that great about this new behavior. So I will load up another level. It's got a bunch of stairs in it. Yeah, there's a much simpler way to say everything I just said, which is I played around with the behavior of climbing up blocks and it wasn't fun. I couldn't feel fun in it. So it didn't warrant adding the complexity. Okay, so the new behavior of flinging that I explained earlier but didn't show you what it was doing because of technical reasons, is that it'll fling upstairs, downstairs, and it will stop at the end of the stairs. It'll stop on the landing. There's a one kind of slightly unintuitive thing about it, which is you have to step in one from the landing and then go down there. So I guess I won't go into it. I think it's fine. I think it's probably just my brain is used to the old way, so I'm kind of getting used to the new way. So there's like one extra step, like at this corner, to keep going up. Yeah, or similarly, if I go down here. So it might have been a little bit nicer to have it not have that extra step. I'm still kind of debating over that, but I can leave that for now. I don't think it's the most important thing. But I think I do want to remove the logical steps and just have it be cosmetic steps. That takes a fair amount of work because I currently don't have in my data structures any way of detecting the difference between a logical stairs and cosmetic stairs. I only know how to detect logical stairs, which also is the same thing as which also is a kind of a superset that includes cosmetic stairs. Because if I look at the data structures that represent this staircase, it's exactly the same as a purely logical, non-cosmetic set of stairs. Oh, let me see if I can do this in one session, and then maybe I might take a nap, because man, I'm tired. I can feel it. I'm very tired. So I need to do a git commit before I change this around. Oh, the other thing I did yesterday was fix the centering on the block pads. With much help from a gentleman named Kilted Ninja. Would you believe he's Scottish? I mean, 50-50 chance, you know, Japanese or Scottish. Scottish. Let's see. Your ears were burning? Hey, hey Ninja. Did I get something wrong? What do you mean your ears were burning? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I get it now. All right, let me see. How am I going to do this? Works. Hey, scroll. Cool. Okay. Pre-proc data. Add structure. For which CRHs have stairs. Should include down direction, maybe up. I think about how the stairs are detected. Discovery object that is aware of its Yeah, its own water rotation. Don't load the discovery object. In board loading. Okay, number 2. Okay, I think either of those is probably fine. Yeah, well, as his character develops, you'll feel less sorry for him because he's kind of a jerk. Yeah. Or it could be maybe just a dictionary, CRH is key, and direction is value. I think, yeah, that's the structure right there. Is dictionary serializable? I think it is. I think I've used it somewhere else before. Yeah, I think they're kind of hard. Like I'm going to come back to the shader we were working on last weekend. It's not going to be this weekend. I'm pretty sure I've serialized a dictionary. Hold on. data. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Yeah, the one link that you sent for debugging or being able to output to a buffer that's visible elsewhere, I think that is a pretty smart way to go. Like if I when I start back up on the tile shader, I think I'll put something like that in at the beginning of the exercise. Oh yeah, where is it? The layer set. The layer set is serializable. And the layer set's got a dictionary, right? Yeah, serializable. Yeah, I had unit tested this. It worked. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is not a bad structure, probably. So stair squares. Spike layer set. What do I do for this spike layer? Then just to make it nice, I'll add some accessors on it. Okay. Don't need this. I could do number 2 first, that would be easier. It's probably not going to take that much time. And if I do number 2 and later on I find that it's a big contributor to load time or noticeable contributor to load time, I can move it into number 1, which is putting it in pre-processing, storing it in a file, loading it in at load time. But I'll start with number 2. Okay. Stair discovery. I'll go ahead and write it. look at my stairs. Because they might not all be oriented the same way. I'll see if I had any kind of consistency with these stairs and how I laid out the prefabs. What I don't want to do is change any of the prefabs, be oriented differently. So if I made any inconsistencies, I want to keep them and just create data structures that make sense of them. Okay, there's the first difference. This one is rotated differently. Hey, boated. No, I'm doing something where I add some new data structures around stairs that allow some game behavior to work better. Stairs 2, stairs 2 by 2. I don't need to lay them out pretty. 2 by 4, 4, 4 by 2, 4 by 4, 8. I do play some video games. They tend to be in two classes. There's sort of like light time killers. There's almost like meditation, you know, little tiny little puzzle games. Games that are easy, that I don't have to try that hard at. And then there's like the big experience games, and I usually play them as much as I want them in a few weeks and then put them away and don't come back to them. That's kind of me. So the big experience games I've enjoyed recently: Manifold Garden, The Witness. Let's see what else. What was the other one that was good? I don't know. I can't remember them all. But yeah, I play a little bit. Or I play a lot of stupid little games that I'm just looking at for 10-15 minutes while I'm drinking coffee in the morning. And I play a little bit of big awesome games that are a proper experience. So those are my two patterns. Okay, so it looks like I got them all oriented the same way except for just one outlier. I don't think I've used this so many places, this stairs 1x3, that it would kill me to just, hold on, come on, rotate the prefab and break a few levels, then fix the levels. So what's the rotation on these? 0, and if I just set this to 0, it'll be oriented the same way. So that seems fine. The other part to consider is, where is the pivot point on all of these? It's not always in the same place. Although I might be wrong about that. Yeah, except for my 1x3 prefab. So far these are all showing up in the bottom right hand corner, so that would give me a good basis for in my discovery of mapping that to the squares that the stairs covers. Alright, just got this one which is kind of off. I think I could just make a new stair and redo the prefab. Let me try that. Probably good practice no matter which architecture I use. Alright, so steps is going to be 4, curvature 0, build sides yes, width 3, height 1, depth 1. That's what I want. I made these steps by hand to start with. I hand modeled them until I realized that ProBuilder had something built in that was doing exactly the same thing that I was doing, but better. Okay, then we want a stairs decorator on this, so we get all the textures right. All right. Okay, you are the new stairs 1x3. Few notes. Is that north? It is north. Okay. So 0 degrees on Y means stairs are pointing north. Pivot is at bottom southeast corner of prefab. So I can take the bounding box of the prefab, yeah, actually if I just use the bounding box with the Y rotation, I don't really care about the location of the pivot, because I'll get all of the bounding information will tell me where the cuboid is inside of the scene, which implies which squares in the board it covers, and then the rotation will tell me which end of that bounding box is the top of the stairs. Okay. Another thing I wonder about is do I really want to use stair discovery? Let me take a look at the interface, because it was originally intended to add pieces to the board, and this is a totally different data structure. Okay, I gotta take a 5-10 minute break and make myself some coffee. I'll be back in a little bit. get back to it. Hey. Oh. Oh. Wake up. Okay, what is iDiscovery going to make me implement? Yeah, what is iBoardable? I totally forget my own shit. That's it. Okay, that actually matches up with what I want to do. Good. Okay, so then we'll say just for the moment I'll put the other class in here too, so I can just have them both in one place. Public class stair adder. I am going to refine stair flinging so it only uses cosmetic stairs. The logical stair behavior that I made yesterday on the session, it was okay, but it introduced behavior that was too complicated and hard to understand. So I'm going to aim for simplicity instead of more possibilities of flinging and climbing up and down the blocks and all that. So it's a continuation of yesterday. No, in this case it's purely game design balancing. So it's a balance between what might give the player more things they can do in the game and what might make the game more confusing and hard to understand for the player. And the decision I made yesterday was weighted towards the first, but when I had a chance to play with it in some actual levels, I saw it wasn't that much more fun, and it was making things more confusing. So now I'm taking the opposite direction of the trade-off. And I've got echoes of past design decisions in my mind from decades ago that satisfied one group of players, the hardcore puzzlers, and drove away other people. And so I'm kind of taking the opposite path here than what I've taken in the past. Okay, so then inside a board we'll need a new structure, and that will be yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. But if you think about when you look at all these different streams where I'm doing stuff with the blocks, and how it probably took you a little while watching a number of streams to kind of understand how the blocks work, they're already fairly complex. So I have more wrinkles to them. It gets harder for a new player to understand. But when you say the next game, I think that's right, because that idea of like you can climb up arrangements of blocks and you can move them around to sort of make your path, that could do well in either a game that was more focused on that to the exclusion of other things, or in a sequel type of a game that builds on what players already know from the original game. Yeah, that is my worry. Let's see. Yeah. You ever played or heard of a game called Dwarf Fortress? It's crazy. They keep adding more stuff to it. I have not been able to start playing it because it's just a little too complicated for me, and I can't really get my mind around everything they're trying to do in it. But they just keep adding stuff, more and more stuff. Now they do have some very loyal players. Yeah, so it's a very detailed game, and they model weird things in it that you wouldn't expect people to worry about, you know. So I mean, imagine looking at this screen and knowing what all the things on it meant, all these little symbols. And then, you know, that each one of those little symbols also has, you know, a bunch of properties in it, and it's basically a simulation. Okay. I don't, but I'm intrigued by it, you know. But it's a logical extreme. So then I went down that path for a while with Drod, and see if I can find a, you know, kind of a similarly complicated kind of thing to look at. They're showing some of the classic levels first, which are a little easier to figure out, but basically it got more and more complex. But you've got like a base. It's almost like politics. You play to your base, make your base happy, you get more extreme. But there are people that just love the complexity of it, and they love that they know all the complexity of it. But the game, although it always had this kind of loyal base, it never spread out any like far enough to reach enough people that, you know, I could make a living off of it. Even like these Dwarf Fortress guys, there's two of them. Dwarf Fortress Patreon. I can tell you what their annual income is. I can make a pretty good guess. The annual income, well, I mean, the monthly income for that's split between two guys, Tarn and Zach, is $8K, and it's not bad. A lot of people be saying, you know, that's pretty cool. I'd take that. Get to spend all my time making games. I got a house with a mortgage. Yeah, I couldn't survive off $4K a month. I couldn't. And these guys, in my mind, with all the work they put in, they should be doing much better than this. But the trouble is, they're playing to a base, a hardcore base with the game. That's what I did. I didn't get as far as they did with growing it out. I'm not that focused on money, but I do like the idea that, you know, maybe I could retire and just work on games, you know, and spend the rest of my days just making games. That's a lovely life. So that's the dream. And there's also people that I would like to play my game that maybe are not as hardcore, could still get something out of it and still enjoy it. I'd like to reach some of those people too. So I don't want to make like I don't want to make some fiendishly complex thing that is a small group of people's happiness. and then it's almost like a little click or something, you know. You all know that, you know, if you move 2 squares west and you do the button in a certain way, it's going to take you up 8 square. You know, it's just, it should be more intuitive than that. That'll make a better game, and maybe open it up a little bit more. So going for simplicity, and as you can tell, the roots of that decision, the run kind of deep. It's already a fairly complicated game. Yeah, it's stairs, CRHs. See, let's do that. Try and get value. That should do it. Put this in a new class. I think that one's done. That would go where? Under logic. This might be worth putting. Yeah, let's just put it in this directory for now. Okay, the stair. Yeah, what was it called? Stair squares. Okay, put that there. Then we just go to the board, add this new structure in. Oh, let's just go ahead and make it serializable. Let's do it. Let's just make it public. Stair discovery. No longer needs stair squares. The board adder is going to say set these variables. Other way. Let's see, it's going to be board, stair squares, add, CRH, up direction. Okay, this one can go into something else. Okay. Now, the hard stuff. Okay, we want this to also be based on mono behavior. I always wondered why we have English spelling or UK spelling instead of American for Unity. Do they have some Brits running the company or something? More likely a pretentious American. Yeah, sure, if you want to spend all that extra time typing the U. Hours of your life have been wasted typing those extra letters. All right, so the thing that we want is to return new stair adder, and then it should have stair CRHs up direction. Let's see, it's going to be something like direction, up direction. Find stair direction. Yeah, they're not inconsistent, are they? They're not consistent. Pretty sure bounds has got center spelled C-E-N-T-E-R, not R-E. Okay. So to find the stair direction, all I need is the rotation. So for that, we'll do transform. do already have some stuff for this. What was it? Rotation, util. Let me just see what's in here, and if it's not here, I'll add it. then it's got to be direction none is 0. Yeah, I have to check what it is, and I did, and it was just somebody doing some gardening stuff next door. Because, I don't know, a dog is not... It barks at everything. But we also have a sketchy neighborhood. I mean, today I'm repairing a doorbell camera that got ripped out of its socket by a guy at 5 a.m. in the morning. I live in a third world country. It's called United States. Big old shanty town right next to me. Why? Because it's fucking dangerous out there. It's not dangerous most of the time. It's like there's probably, or mentally ill person. So there's probably a few hundred homeless people living in my neighborhood, and the expanding out about half mile. And in those few hundred, there's probably one or two that are criminals, and maybe one or two that are just kind of mental illness with violence in it. You know, dangerous mental illness. Like you don't want to be around those people. You don't want them doing things around your house. So there's probably 4 people in my neighborhood that I need to watch out for. I don't know who they are. They just roam around. They cause a little chaos. Yeah. And most of the homeless people that live near me, it's a weird thing to say. They're like the kind of homeless people I want. They're high functioning. They sort of chose to move into a certain area that's away from downtown and where services are. So they made a conscious decision to be in my neighborhood, to set up a little shack shelter there. And those people tend to be like the more responsible homeless people, like the ones that are less messed up, less chaotic, less desperate. So I actually support them. I want to help them. I don't mind them living by me. They gotta live somewhere. Yeah. But there's 4 people in my neighborhood. I don't know which ones. They do crazy shit, and I gotta keep my eye out for them. Got my car broke into once this year. Had the doorbell ripped out. Last year, some guy was in love with the cardboard, and yeah, he took the doorbell camera with him, probably to sell it, but I like to amuse myself that he like propped it up inside of his little corrugated metal shack. He's got his own doorbell camera now. If I saw that would make me so happy. Wouldn't even be mad at that guy. I'd be like, dude, you really wanted your own doorbell camera. Now you got it. Guy wants to be safe, you know? Alright, so let me remember the transformation that was performed in this. So direction, I think it's enum, first one is 0, so I need to translate direction I up by 1 before I cast it. rotation util. Where you at? There we go. Alright, and I'll just refactor this ahead of time while I'm thinking about it, because I know I'll probably want to do this later. Won't hurt anything. Go static, direction. There we go. This should be one. Okay, there we go. All right, for all that, trying to do things the right way. Yeah, trying to build it up right. I want this code base to last for years, multiple releases. Building the franchise. This is the start of it. Local rotation or just rotation, I think it will not matter, but this is probably more correct. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about refactoring code is if you just come into it and you're looking at all somebody else's refactored code, it's more complex than if somebody just kind of put it all together in one place. But if you're maintaining it over time, having things in the right place and split out different ways and reusable, dry principle, it just helps. Yeah. I mean, you can see I'm not writing everything from scratch on this. Like there was some other code that was tested and worked for me, so you know I probably by reusing that code somewhere got back about 20 minutes of debugging some nonsense. Yeah, okay, so let's get the stair CRHs. Except that this is not one of my best mornings. for some stupid reason, woke up 1 hour ahead of when I normally get up, and I'm a little bit sensitive to lack of sleep more than other people. But I'll power through. The ironic thing is I woke up an hour early because I was thinking about my game. Just laying there in bed thinking about the stair stuff. What's the complaint? Oh yeah. Why? Oh, I want to become famous. Alright. I'm going to clear the chat screen to minimize the exposure the bot gets. That was kind of pointless. I don't know why. I'm just kidding. I wish there was some penalty I could inflict upon people that do these things that are basically worthless, probably even to them. Just a small penalty I wish I could inflict on them. Nothing huge. Just like, what? Oh, this suddenly cost me more money than I would make from doing it. Maybe I'll stop doing it and find something else to do. Okay, find the stair CRHs. I'll need to pass in just the transform again. But this is the hard one. Or it feels like it could be hard. Okay, I also want the direction. Something to find a bounding box, maybe. Bounds to min-max CRH. That's it. That's the one. Yeah, cool. See, more reusable code. I like it. I always forget. Bounds come from the transform or the game object. How do I get the bound? Renderer. That's what it was. Okay. Complain about that. Conflicting. Might as well pass the game object instead of the transform. The renderer, let's see. There it is. Okay, so now I've got the cuboid dimensions expressed in board coordinates. That's CRH, column row height. I've got the direction that's up, moving through this cuboid. What I want to do is set up some variables for iterating through the path of the stairs and collecting all the squares that would make up stairs. Okay, so if I say so it will be true that the capacity will always be equal to, let's see, max corner C minus min corner C times max R times min corner R. No. There. That should avoid allocation beyond the first. Okay, let's just put it to do here for now. Okay, switch. Yep, that one. Okay, let's see. So climb delta side delta climb count side step delta climb step delta climb step count side step count. All right. So picture somebody who wants to know all the squares that are in the staircase, and they do it. They're starting at the very first step, and then sidestepping, because they want to know widthwise what are all the squares on that one step. And then after they've done that, they climb to the next step. It's just confusing to use the word step here, because I'm meaning movement, but I'm already talking about a staircase. And maybe some shorter variables will be helpful. CRH start. Okay, so I gotta set these for each of the directions. This feels pretty conceptual. I don't mind putting it in a separate function, even if it's not really reusable. So we'll go it's just a thing that enumerates all the squares that the steps cover and that stairs cover. So let's see. Let's do find staircase. Let's see. Get staircase traversal values. Let's say we're going to pass in. Let's see. Min corner, max corner, up direction, out, climb delta, out, side delta, out, climb count, out, side count. These are climb count is always going to be the height, so that's independent of direction. I'll just keep that out of that function. Yeah. +1. Okay. Now, also be less stupid about this. Hey, DZ. What's going on? Evening for you, morning for me. Off in that city near Frankfurt. Was it Stuttgart? I can't remember now. Hey, I'm all for using the weekend. I'm missing international travel this year. Yep. Okay, so let's see. It's north. Ah, nice. Nice. I like that it's a little bit different of a challenge than using a humanoid model. I'm sure there's a fair amount people have done that's reusable, but it's off the beaten path a little bit. Okay, so it's north. What do I know? I know the start CRH. C will be min corner C. And the H for it will always be at the bottom of the stairs, so that would be min corner H. Yeah, the survival genre, I'm the same way. Like, I really wanted to get into Don't Starve because it's like beautiful looking and the art sensibility of it and like I like all the complexity that I saw, but I just get stressed out playing. Stop all those survival simulations. I'd give them a pass. The Long Dark actually is even more tempting to me. It's just the natural beauty they've got inside of it and everything looks really great. Could I make it like super easy so that it's hard for me to fail? Maybe I might try it. Because it looks gorgeous. Okay, let me just get this going. So south, west, east. South is going to be the opposite. Think about this. So I always want to start on the bottom left hand side of the stairs. Let me just double check my reasoning here. You don't need to do that right now. Okay. So if it's facing north, then it should be this is the minimum column and the maximum row. If it's facing south, then I want to be starting over here, and that's the maximum column and the minimum row. If it's facing east, let's do west first. Then I want maximum column, maximum row. Okay, it is symmetrical. The other one would have to be min and min. Okay, that gets that. I can say that climb delta dc equals 0. All of these, the climb delta dh is going to be 1. Real life days in a virtual world. You forget to get food in the physical world, but you've gotten it in the virtual world. Yeah, the only thing with the VR gear is, man, how long can you actually stay in VR without just not feeling good? For me, at least with the Oculus Go that I had, which isn't top of the line, it was about 2 hours. That was after kind of putting in some hours to train myself a bit. I'm sure there's people that are inclined to it naturally enough that they can go for longer durations, but man, a whole day in VR, oh god, you get so sick. And you know that moment where you know that moment like where the somebody knocks on the door, or your phone rings, or you got to get out of VR, and you go, vroom, you take this off, it's a hot mask off, vroom, and you just kind of look at the real world, and you're like, whoa. I don't know. Maybe it's not that way for everybody, but for me, that there's a little bit of a jar just getting back into the physical world after you've been under for a bit. They're gonna nail it sooner or later. They keep on making these really good attempts at making just like the perfect mass market VR device. Each one gets better. They've gotten so much better than the early ones. And then once it's just kind of easy, it's not a big deal to put it on and take it off, and You know, you don't get sick as much. You know, they figure out all the resolution stuff, and just once they nail it, it won't be long. Everybody's going to have one. It's going to be like the main way people game, I think. But I don't think it'll happen as quick as people think it will. That's the only thing. Inevitable, but not happening as fast as people think it will. Like maybe that sort of mass market moment where it's like an NES or an Atari 2600, but for VR, or even just like a PlayStation. Like it's sort of like the default console device. 5 years minimum, 10 years maybe. Yeah. And I really can't stand it too, like when there's something a little bit CPU intensive and the screen doesn't update as you expect, and then it's like to make it all work too, they might have to do something like the OS or the SDK standardizes and enforces the things that you can do inside of games. Like they might have to be a little bit heavy-handed and less experimental with it to make it so it's just like a comfortable item for everyone. I don't know. I haven't problem solved it like other people have, but it feels like right now it's the Wild West, and they're going to be things that some people hate and some people love. You know. Yeah, body tracking, be able to like walk on like one of those unidirectional treadmills or something. Yeah, it'll get there. Okay, climb delta DC 0, DR -1. Oops, DR, come on. Starting to wake up a little bit now. I'm like giving up on my idea of taking a nap. I'm gonna go grab one more cup of coffee. I'll be right back. I'll leave the weight screen up if you guys want to chat with each other. Alright, so climb delta, DC, DR. Okay, side delta will be Always DH0 for side delta. I suppose I don't really need the H. Yeah, I don't really need the H. Okay. Okay. So let's just get rid of that. Okay, DC equals 1. Cool, Ninja. Have some good dinner. Make yourself some haggis and blood pudding and I don't know, all that Scottish food you guys eat. Shepherd's pie. I actually like that stuff. Yeah, anyways, have a good evening. Okay, -1 for that. Dang, I keep on doing DC twice. That's gonna hurt me if I don't catch that. I should be. I got an errand, so I'll see you when I see you. Maybe later today, maybe not. Okay, so if we're going west, the DR, -1 to go sideways on the steps. Going east, DR is 1. Okay, what else I got? Not too much left. The side count. Side count. Yeah, basically it's going to be either vertical or horizontal. So those two are vertical. These are, yeah, okay, it's going to be west-east or north-south. Let's make this default. Okay, that should do that. I've almost certainly introduced bugs. There's just so much new logic here. Okay. Okay, so we'll say we'll start a new seeker, square seeker for side. This is a struct, so it's just going to copy the value over. Is that? Yeah, it's a struct. Cool. Okay. Here we say we'll go up to the next step. Let's equal climb delta DC. So, CRHs, add, side CRH, and we move side CRH in the same way. Okay. This one definitely needs some stepping through. That's quite a lot of code. Let's see. So what is the thing that's going to call this and make it happen? It'd be in the board loader. Okay, that's the pieces. This commenting style of mine is kind of dumb. I can understand why people say just make the function name be self-documenting. Alright, find and add stairs. What does this comment tell me? It's just there for symmetry. Add the pieces. Well, that's in the function name. need the ref. Man, my old conventions are clashing with my new conventions. No, I love comments. I'm a fan of comments, but stuff like this, it's got like, what am I gonna do? Just so it looks symmetrical, say add stairs when you know the function name is right there. This is a good comment I can stand behind. This isn't bad, although somebody argues just put it inside of a function that's named the same thing that you're talking about. It's not a stupid point of view. But, you know, as you say, your code, your rules. My code, my rules. The only problem is I have arguments with myself. I get more than one person. Or more accurately, different versions of myself that had different opinions at different times. Okay, so game object find objects of type stair discovery. Do up here. Why crazy stuff up here? Maybe I don't want to do all the same crazy stuff. Okay, I did game object tabs. I said get the addable, add it. That's not too hard. I don't know about that one though. Okay, I don't need this function. It's not going to do anything for me. So I won't reuse that. Okay, so that should be the last bit of glue to make it find the stairs and add the data structure. Okay, so next thing is to set a breakpoint and see what the code actually does. All this new code, which has a 12% chance of working the first time. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely. So let me start with one that's got a few wrinkles to it. Here, let's set this back to 0. And I'll figure out the coordinates before I go through the debugger. That's fine. Get my little tool there that lets me see the logical coordinates or the board coordinates. Diagnostic cube. $19, $19, $3. $21, $19, $3. Okay. Just so it's a little easier for me to not get tripped up on numbers that are kind of close to each other, let's move this to a different position. $19, $16, $3, $21, $16, $3. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, so put some notes here so I can refer to it while I'm in the debugger. Let's see, up is north. Oh, is that not compiling yet? Let's check that out. Do I have it in the right? No, it's set to the right namespace. Okay, let's build, see what's not compiling. Okay, here we go. Otherwise, return direction none. Whoa, don't mess with that, Eric. Leave it. Diagnostic cube over here. This guy. Let's add in the stair discovery. Should be there now. Yep. All right. the pre-process level. It should go through discovery. Huh. Oh, maybe I didn't do this. Didn't do that. Okay, cool. Okay. Should be 1. Yes. Okay. Up direction should, I'll step in. A lot of new code. Okay. So it should be the first one. 0. What's the direction map look like? Yeah, the first one should be 0. And this should return direction north. Yep, good. So for the bounds, okay, I'm expecting min to be 1916.3, max to be 21.16.3. It's going out 1. Oh, I understand why. Because bounds are not an expression of the squares that are covered. They're an expression of the space that the coordinates would contain. So elsewhere, this +1 on the max is useful. Here, I'm probably going to need to decrement the max corner by 1. Or I can just remove these +1s. I think instead of stepping through all the code, I will just hit play and fix that one bug I know about, because it'll influence everything else I look at. So I won't try to find 2 bugs in one debug pass. I'll just fix the kind of major one. Hey, Fright. Oh, I'm going to think about your question for a moment. Okay. You want to start to learn programming. And it's been a little bit painful, right? Yeah, it sounds like good advice from DZ. Different people learn in different ways, though. I mean, Okay, so but I'm looking at your plan here, because I always respect a plan. If somebody makes a plan, then I got to think about their plan a little bit. So you do very easy tasks, small projects with 2 books for beginners in programming. And you spend only 1 hour a day after a 1 month to do more ambitious projects that are immersive. It's not a bad idea what you came up with, Fright. Um, so so you want to give yourself a little bit of room to be inefficient in your learning, you know. And sometimes it's the thing that motivates you most that is the most useful thing starting out. So if there's any single aspect of programming that you particularly gravitate towards, it's okay to kind of like, focus on that for a little bit. Particularly when you're just trying to get your foot in the door, you're just trying to get your brain to start thinking that way. So what I mean is, like, suppose you had some success making like a choose your own adventure type game, which is kind of a simple sort of game to make, and it worked, and you liked it, and you saw how it worked, and you had something in you that was just kind of saying, yeah, that was cool. It's okay to keep going with that a little while and then round yourself out as you go. But that may not be the thing that is so rewarding to you. And you talk about intellectual pain. That's usually like you're just trying to find some kind of hook, or some way to get into the thing that's difficult. Once you're in, once you can do something that kind of makes sense to you, you can add to it. Yeah, exactly. So the first thing you pick, or the first 3 things you pick to work on, don't worry if it's not an efficient way to learn all the information. You just want to get into that world in some way to start. That's it. So, like, you could make a text-only game, for example. There, you made it much smaller, much easier. Or you could say, you're going to write some functions that just solve math problems. Like, I don't know if you're a student, but if you've got like schoolwork that you have to do in math, a fun thing to do is write a program that just does your homework for you, which is usually more work than just doing the homework, but then it helps you understand it better. So I'd be looking for that smaller project, not that ambitious, that gives you a little bit of joy, even if it's hard. And then once you're in, once you've kind of got your bearings in some smaller corner of that programming world, you can add to it. You can go many different directions. So I gotta sort out this bounds thing. So I can just remove the +1. I can just accept that max is like always +1. Or I can just shrink the bounds. I think I'll just shrink the bounds, because I already thought through this logic with the assumption that the max corner was going to be 1 less than it was. So let's see. So Fry, I don't know if you're like typing a big thing or anything. It's all right, but yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, if that makes sense or not, I'm open to keep talking about it. Well, the good news is you probably can't kill anybody, including yourself, with code that you write. Unless you're like, you know, writing the voltage controller on 2 wires that's connected to you. maybe you're like the guy in Saw and like writing programs that make killing devices, and you know might kill somebody. So there should be less fear. Fear while you're driving, man. That's some people don't have enough fear. I didn't. When I was learning to drive, my stepmom was like trying to get me to be more afraid. I was like, I'm doing good. She goes, no, you just almost turned down a one-way road in the wrong direction. But you know what? No, let me not discount like the idea of fear when you're learning something, though, because there is a fear. The fear is that there's something about you, some inherent limitation that means you can't do this thing, and you want to do it, but it would hurt. It would hurt to learn that, you know, it's too hard for you, or it's not the thing that you should do. It would conflict with the idea that you have of your ideal self. So I think that's a lot of times what gives us fear when we're learning something new. And it is a valid fear. But most people that want to write some code, they actually have something in them that says, like, that would be cool. That seems like a neat thing. They can do it. It's when you don't have any kind of enjoyment out of any aspect of the activity that you gotta say, like, maybe this isn't for me. Or if your plan, your idea involves you being the best or at a certain level and you can't reach it, and that's a necessity for you, then maybe it's not that good, or you won't get as much out of it as you had hoped. But yeah, I mean, I've got my limitations. Like when I was younger, I tried really hard to get good at basketball. And there's like things about my brain that weren't good at like figuring out where people were on the court and making the right decisions. But I practice every day on it. Language learning, Actually, I did pretty okay with one language and another language. It was kind of like it never clicked. I didn't really enjoy it, so I had to give it up. Um, so yeah, fear is valid. There's usually just some kind of acceptance or resolution or stepping back from yourself that gets you to the best state. Okay, I'm on the hook to put in a grocery order. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to switch to big stupid head view while I do this, just for privacy reasons. And it's only going to take me a few minutes. I'm just going off to Instacart. And looking over all the selections for different types of food that we're going to order and have sent to our house. They're asking me, do you have everything you need? And I see something on their list that I actually do want. So I'm going to add that, get myself some vodka, and let's see, continue to check out. Verifying my date of birth, that I can purchase alcohol. Choosing a delivery time within 2 hours for free. Awesome. What a wonderful world we live in, where just all the food can be delivered to us. Mobile payment, replacement options on the food. If there's no broccolini, don't replace. I want broccolini, not broccoli. Carrot, replace with best match. Boy, some of these things I actually have to think about what people are planning to do with them, besides myself. Shaved Parmesan. No, I think it needs to be only that. So, alright. I know what I'm doing is boring. It is just going to take me a few more minutes. Okay. The thing is, takes me a long time with these deliveries is I have to tell them, like, if they don't have the thing I asked for, what they should do. And if I don't, they'll just bring me random stuff when things are out. And all their defaults err on the side of them just getting some random stuff and billing me for it. my god, there's so much stuff in this list. This is a major order. Just place it. Place it, go, do it. Come on, come on, come on. This thing takes forever. I'm so bored with it. Next, 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 next. Okay, go get the food. Go get the food. Instacart people. All right, there we go. Alright, all that food. It's coming. Alright, what was I even doing? Yeah, Fright. Yeah, DZ is giving good advice there. Okay, climb count, it should be 1. Yes. Okay, let's look at the traversal values. Okay, what is min corner and max corner? 1916.3, the other one should be 2116.3. Good. Up direction north. Climb delta. These will be set. Okay. Let's see, what is it initialized to? Yeah, zeros. Side count should be 3. Yep. Okay. CRHs. This should end up being... Ooh, I think this is probably wrong. So, C21 minus 19 is going to be 2, and this is going to be 0 over here. So, got off by 1 there. I'll be right back. Bathroom taken. Gotta come back to that. Okay. That's okay. This is just a capacity value. I can fix it. Another run. I think DZ's being a little bit humble. I've seen his work. And he's doing something. He's got little 3D fox running around following you inside of a game. No, I'm just in the middle of it. I've got all my code written, and I'm just stepping through it, making... I'm not going to say making sure there's no errors. I'm saying find the errors that probably are in it. Okay, climb 0, going to 1. Okay. So we should be stepping 3 times. Okay, we add the first one at 19, 16, 3. And this should move it to 20, 16, 3. Yep. Okay, come through, add the second square. And then we go to 21, 16, 3. Okay. Okay, then this should take it from 19, 16, 3 to 19, 16, 4. Well, actually 19, 15, 4. All right. So that looks quite successful to me. And we should have 3 squares in here. Good. Looks healthy. Yeah, that shit is fun. Yeah, you get a little dopamine rush with those little successes. Try hard, no success, and suddenly, oh, it works. Bam. It's awesome. Okay. I gotta go find one of the 2 bathrooms in my house that might be empty.
Bathroom's open.
shaders. Yeah. Feel almost like if I should figure out all my shader stuff at one time and not do any other kind of work. It's a different skill set. Different way of thinking. Okay, this looks good. Let me try a few more cases. Fix the... But you know, it's my own version of the same advice that I gave to Fright. It's like with shaders, I would just try to get one little thing to work, and then I would add to it, and you know, I felt lost. It was like if I tried to do it all at once or do the most ambitious thing all at once, it would really suck. It seems like it could go that way. It seems like it could. It'd be like a turning point of sorts. A critical mass. Okay, so this needs to be +1. It's probably exactly the same thing as climb count times side count too, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, let's just do that. Climb count times side count. Okay, there we go. That's more readable, less calculation. Okay, do that. And this one I won't step all the way through. I'll just see what gets returned. So if I say, let's just keep it simple, let's move this guy over here. Actually, I know this one pretty well, so let's stick with it. I'll go with 90 degrees next. This will be 1916-3 to 1918-3. I cannot spend much more time on this session. I've got some guests that are coming over tonight, and people are expecting me to do some things today. Stupid guests, stupid people that I love, that want to spend time with me. Man, sucks. Why did you not do any? Oh, what? I must need to start up a little bit earlier. Okay. There's some assertion that's going to fire. Where's it at? Is it going to be down here? What's the up direction? Is it east? None. Okay, so there's a problem there. Okay, assertion will fire. Let's just run it again. Okay, so what is this? No. Oh. That's a quaternion. I want Euler angles. Okay, no problem. Euler, I think is how it's pronounced. East. Okay, this should fare better. Okay, stairs here. Just count 3. 1916-3 to 1918-3. Yep, matches. Yeah, I don't want to mispronounce the dude's name. He's a contributor. Deserves a little respect. Okay. All right, then let's do the other angles. 1916-3 to, oh wait a minute. Yeah, okay. 1916-3 to 2116-3. And south. It's good. Then rotate again to the last direction. It should be 1916-3 to 1918-3. What's this one? West? Yeah, it's west. Yeah, it's good. All right, just maybe four more cases. They should go pretty quick. Let's take stair discovery off of here for the moment. And let's use this guy because he actually has steps to climb. He's 2x2. So 1916 to 2017. (1960) 2017. It's good. Let's see though. It was the height's going up 2. Starts at 3. Is this the south end? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Set the breakpoint down here for speed on the other 3 cases. Okay, on the low end, starts at 1916, goes down a row for the step. That's 1 step, and then over 1. 2016, 2017. Okay, good. The reason I'm taking these pains is I've got this code loaded into my head now. I don't want to come back to it. So if there's some bug in one of the cases, I don't want to come back to it later. Just take extra time. Okay, so 1916-3 and the bottom stair will be on 18-16-3 as well. (1816, 1916, 1817, 1917). All right. 1916 and it's 1917. Yeah, it's looking good. I don't know of any other cases I really need to test out. I think that's good. So, let's go ahead. Let's set the prefabs for all the stairs to include this new thing. Wonder, can I just select them all and just do an add component? No, you can't do that. All right. All right. Ninja, on this one I'm in the same boat as you. I've not been able to make sense of when it might be a good idea to use one pipeline or another yet. That's not because the information isn't out there. It's just because it seems to be a little bit hard to figure out, and I haven't done the work. So I don't know. You might learn something about it and tell me, because I was considering maybe I want to do a switch over to another pipeline. But there'd have to be some benefit that I don't know of right now to switching to it. So I'm ignorant on that topic. DZ might know. I get that one? Yep. Make sure I got them all. Oh, this one doesn't get one. Okay, cool. I don't know why they got called a whisper. It sounds so intimate, you know? It feels wrong for the general tone of Twitch. I can feel my wife. I can feel like a little number or a meter. I need to. She's pretty good about these things, but she's starting her work to get the house cleaned, and I need to join. It is time. So I'm just. You know what? I'm afraid to try the next part because if it doesn't work, I won't be able to continue on it right away. But it might immediately work. It might immediately work. All right, I'll chance it. I will chance it. If it doesn't work, oh, it's gonna suck. Because I'll have to stop and come back to it. I think I got COVID. I'm just gonna stay upstairs. Start using that for an excuse. Nobody can argue with that. All right. It was in peace. Well, first, before I do that, does pre-process make it through without error? Console clear. That seemed kind of fast. No, it's a small level. I think it did. I think it made it through. All right, so old way of doing it. What's your issue? let's make a way to call this without a CRH. Or wait. I don't like the new there, but just to see if it works. It's not going to work. I can't be that lucky. Start of the pain. It's going to be right here. Object reference not set to instance of object. Okay, what's that about? Okay, that could be bad level design. If any of these guys are overlapping, it would cause that problem. That on the prediction? Is that in the board loader? Try it one more time. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love all these weird staircases, and it sort of looks like humans built it, but not quite. Nah. Alright, I'm out. Problem half solved. That's how it goes. Gotta keep the peace in my family instead of my programmer's mind this time. Catch y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. I will. You too. Stopping the stream.